Okay. All right. So today, I'm gonna start off on Ansible. It's a huge topic, but what I'm gonna do is, honestly, I'm not using it myself as much. I'm just using it for some troubleshooting and here and there. So I'm not like an Ansible guy, but I know a little bit about Ansible and how it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this to you here. Okay. Hopefully, this will help you and understand how we could manage like thousands of computers. Bash script is there, it's nice, it's still working. But Ansible, a lot of companies are using Ansible because it's quick and easy. I mean, I think it's free too. And we'll take a look here what it actually means, Ansible. Okay, so, but you guys are practicing, right? So when you get a chance here, take a look in there, and then you could get creative how the script could work in your favor. Hello, somebody had a question?
We will talk about that. Yes, we will talk.
Okay.
No question, brother. I'm saying we will work on it.
Yeah. So what Ansible is usually we're gonna use these for a lot of servers. We're gonna have what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up about like 5 or 6 servers simultaneously, and then I'll show you how we could use it to manage it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna clone this. I'm gonna call it Ansible master. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this up. I'm going to say root Red Hat. Oh, God. I forgot to turn it on. I'm going to say image 0. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this. So I'm gonna say 192.168.56.140, and this is my Ansible master. Okay, so now I have this Ansible master here. Okay, this is one box. Okay, and view skill mode. Okay. Okay, so we have two servers here, right? So I'm gonna start up like two more. I'm gonna start this, and I'm gonna start this. DNS. Uh, So we have 6 servers, and then this one is my master server here. So we're going to work on it, installing Ansible here. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to control 6 servers here. So Ansible is, let's see, where did the Ansible come from? Hmm. So Ansible, so it's an open source. You could install it and start using it, and it's very powerful. And it's for the configuration management. Okay, and this is the guy who's responsible for. He came up with this, and then I think Red Hat is owner now, but it's still open source. Okay, so let me copy this much part here. So it's an open source software configuration management and application deployment tool. It runs on Unix-like system and configure both Unix-like system as well as Microsoft Windows. Okay, so I never worked on working with Microsoft Windows, and it includes own declarative language to describe the system configuration. Ansible is written by this guy and acquired by Red Hat in 2015. And Ansible is agentless and temporarily connecting remotely via SSH. Okay, so what does agentless means is, Ansible is agentless, means there is no software that needs to be installed on the computer we're going to connect, okay? Ansible is agentless. Nothing needed to be installed on the client server. Okay, run plugin view. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is, we're going to install Ansible here, and we'll go from there, okay? So, but the best resource for Ansible is this place here. You could go and have everything about Ansible, and if you have any questions, or there's a lot of things in here in this Ansible.com place. Ansible.
But Zafar, do you know what are the other tools that companies use to manage multiple Windows machines and the Red Hat servers?
There's a lot of them.
And mostly used.
Sometimes you don't even know they're being used. I mean, just imagine, the corporations are huge, thousands of computers. Just a small place like 2,000 to 5,000 servers is actually a very big place. It's actually a giant. 2,000, 5,000 servers, there's a lot of things in there. So they are almost all companies, even as small as that has like 5,000, they're using a lot of things. So, I don't want you to get confused here. And especially for the Windows side, I won't be able to tell you. But, whatever we have in here, you should be able to land a job with what you have learned here. Ansible, Linux, scripting, and then we're going to work on a little bit AWS, EC2s, and that will give you good understanding how things are working, because a lot of companies, they don't, on the job description, usually the job description is garbage here, okay? Usually they said job description, you have to know everything and anything, because the job description is described by people in human resource. They are clueless what the job is actually about. Okay? But if it says the job description says, Linux administration, you could apply it. And then what is going to be happening is they will look for only about 40 to 60% of the match of what the job description is. And when you go on to a job, even today if I go on to a new job, they would need to train me, because internal processes are very different from company to company, how they are doing things in there. For example, if you work for healthcare, there is a lot of, can somebody tell me what is involved with healthcare?
Ved is not there here, but Ved used to work in healthcare, but it involves the medical records.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So when some personal issues is there, medical records, right? So what is happening? There is a lot of compliances. If you heard about healthcare, it's very, very tightly controlled. There are billing codes in there and all that. If you go to a doctor, you just go in and out. But somebody in the background, they are billing it. And to stop the fraud here, Ansible, healthcare industry is very regulated. Financial industry is highly regulated. Every penny movement is being documented, okay? So for that reason, you won't be working in every place, even though there would be a Linux admin in one group and another group, there would be another Linux admin, but the job description or what actually they're doing as a Linux guy is going to be a lot of different, there's going to be a great deal of difference between two different jobs, okay? So what I'm showing here is preparing you, have a good knowledge of how things are working and how you need to do automation here. And after that, you're going to learn a lot of things on job. But you should know like basic things here, what I'm teaching here. That way you should be ready for that. Okay? If I count what are the things they're using at each work, it's going to be endless. A lot of things. I could tell on top of my head here they're using something called Docker, Kubernetes, and all those. I never worked with them. and they put down as a Linux administration or Linux engineer job, but I don't work with all those things. Okay. Okay, yeah. This is a place you would have everything in here. Okay, so let's get started here. First thing you have to do is you have to install Ansible and um, what do you have to do? Install Ansible and Python. So Ansible is written in Python. Okay, once you master scripting, bash scripting, I would recommend you to learn Python, and that way you would have a better understanding how things are going. Okay, but at this moment, if you're looking to get a six-figure job, you have learned a lot, and then you should be able to get a job with that. So let's see here, installation. So it has prerequisites on all that. Ansible on Red Hat. Okay, so this is for Fedora and this is for Red Hat. Okay, they have little bit of different ways of doing it, so we're not going to worry about that. We only worry about Red Hat. So he's telling us to install Ansible, and yeah, we don't need to do this because we are using actually a CentOS. Ansible, and Debian Ansible, and Gentoo. Hello? Yes. एक मिनट में एक 2 घंटे से कॉल करना क्लास. Okay. 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 So we're going to follow this here. But general rule of thumb is, what you have to do is, let me think google.com. Yeah, it's that. So I have an internet connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yum update -y. So usually what you should do is you should do update the Ansible master before you install anything here. So what it will do is it will update the machine. You guys could hear me clearly, right? Better than yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. It's better than yesterday, yes.
Okay, good. The schools are in lockdown over there, right? In Florida or in Atlanta and all everywhere.
Yep. That is correct. Yes, sir, it is correct.
Any deaths in there? I think Florida has a couple deaths, one death for sure.
Yes, it's more than one. In Atlanta, it's two or three.
Deaths or cases? Two or three people died in Atlanta?
In Florida, we have deaths. That's what I heard. I mean, the people in the masjid.
Yeah.
The people did die in Florida, yes.
Yeah. Because of that cruise machine, ship, I think.
Florida has a lot of old, very, very old people. They have respiratory issues. That they got the virus and got worse because of their previous issues.
Yeah. Yep. I heard Florida is the first one on the East Coast to declare that because that would make sense because the Florida is a retirement place.
Yeah, that is correct, yes.
But they're used to lockdowns, right? Like when the storm comes in or something, they used to buying up stuff and all that. I think they're used to all that.
I think it's not that bad as Corona. It wasn't as bad.
Oh, Corona is...
People are more scared here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thing is, when the hurricane comes, it comes in a certain area. For example, if it comes towards Miami or somewhere, so mostly those areas are more concerned. But this one is the whole state and the whole country is concerned.
And also, hurricane comes and goes. The timetable is going to go away at this time.
Yes, they have a hurricane season, yes.
Yeah.
Panic in especially white people. They are buying and stocking things.
And next thing it's telling you to do is install the April release. I don't know what April release is. Let's Google it. April release is a package that includes GPG keys for package signing and all that. Okay. Alright, whatever it is, just let's follow this here. You have installed April release. -y. Okay, so it's gonna do the job for us. Okay, April release is there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install Ansible.
So, Zafar, do you mind to just copy paste the URL also and put it there in this notes, please?
Yeah. What is this?
That's some serious installation.
Okay, yeah. It's only 124 megabytes, so it's not bad. Okay, so that is done. And so what it's doing here is update the system. Okay, and then second one is install EPEL repository. And the third one it's doing is install the Ansible. Okay, and then what you can do is you type Ansible version, version, and then it will give you the version information. So right now, Ansible version is, this is the version, and this is the configuration file that Ansible is going to read. Okay, this is, you could go in there and edit and make some changes here, okay? So, configure module path. I don't know what that is. That is, and user bin and all that. Okay, so you don't have to worry about everything here. I'm just showing you what is this here. So check the version Ansible, and this is what comes out. You have to install Ansible, update the release. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you VI, ETC, Ansible, then Ansible.config. So these are the configuration file here. You could do here, folks, all inventory, root, play will gather facts. So looks like all these are commented out. So that means only the default, some of them are defaults which are being used here. If you want to make like specific changes here, you could work in here. Yeah, it's a pretty big file here, so I'm not gonna. So it's a 409 lines, about 500 lines. So you could make a behavioral changes to this line here, okay? Okay. So what I'm gonna show you is there is also for VI, ETC, Ansible, and okay, what is this? Okay, so there's in this file there's a configuration file and that's a host file too. Okay, in this file these are the examples here. So here, this is a default Ansible host file. It should live in here, and comment begins with the character blank lines are ignored. Group of hosts are delimited by header, and you can enter the host name or IP address. A host name / IP address can be a member of multiple groups. Okay. So this is the default here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy. What is the command to copy a file? CP host. That I'm going to make call it a host.backup. Host_backup file. So this is going to be the original file here. I'm going to go vi host. I'm going to delete everything in here. I'm going to save and exit, okay? Default host Ansible reads the file /etc Ansible reads the etc Ansible host file for the list of servers to manage. Okay? It reads by default it reads this file here, okay? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna mess around with this six servers here. So before that, let me gather the IP address for the each server. Okay, so this is the rule. So this is 192.168.56.11. Okay, and the second one is 192.168.56.133. Okay, and the third one is 192.168.56. What is this? 120? 127. Okay, you could go with the host name too, but you have to do the DNS entries. So this is 107. 192.168.56.107. Okay. Number 5. IP address is, are you guys still with me, right? 131. 168.56.131. $134. Okay, now let's have some fun. So we have these servers here, right? So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put those servers into this host file here, okay? Okay. So even before that, what you have to do is you have to set up a SSH connection here, okay? Okay, so let's go in here and I talked to you guys about SSH, right?
Yes, brother, you did.
Okay, so let's go into SSH. I can't find it. Yeah, right.
One, brother, we did this with
Oh, I found it.
SSH. So, I know we are learning, but my question here is, when we do the SSH, the Ansible server automatically do the SSH. We don't have to do it manually for each server, right?
Very good, very good. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna set this up for one-time SSH passwordless, and that's it. From there, it will have access to it as a root or as an elevated user. So don't worry about all those things at this moment. All companies are set up, so you don't really have to set up when you go into the job situation here. So before I forget, let me do this thing here. Inventory. Ansible reads this file here. Okay, so for now, make a backup of the host file and make a backup of the host file. Okay, so let me just put that in here, cp host file here. Okay, And then what you do is vi etc hosts. And then you put these files in there. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a SSH file here. So you have to run this command SSH keygen, okay? And do it from root. And then you hit enter. And let's follow the document. 2 RSS files will be generated, private and public, and okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter. Oh, it's just telling me where to hit it. This is going to hit, it's going to save in that default location. I'm going to just hit enter. It's going to ask for paraphrase, so hit enter. Enter again. So if you go in here, ls, so these 2 files has been created just now. It didn't exist. So it was just created here, okay? Okay, so for us to be able to copy it to the other place here, so you could just use the SSH copy command here, okay? So what you should do is clear. What I'm doing is copying the SSH file to this IP address. If you do like SSH, and then here it will ask for the password here, right? So it is asking for the password here. I'm going to cancel it. It's going to ask for the password each time. So there's going to be a problem here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to type the command here, ssh -copy -id root at, okay, and hit enter. And it says, are you sure you want to continue? Then I'll say yes. Attempting to log in with the new key to filter out that any that are already installed, okay?
I never see a message like this before. I think we did a group study, the SSH. I don't remember seeing this kind of message before.
Yeah. And then and then you have to type the password.
I think we had a blank hit enter, I think, yeah.
Okay. So now if you do SSH, if you type SSH root at, do you need to type root at all? Let's do SSH, and then I'm going to type this here. It should connect, okay? It should connect without giving us asking for the password. I don't know why it's so slow though. Okay, so we are in a different box. So it worked. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do the same thing for all the servers here. I'm going to exit back. The connection is closed. But hold on. Multiple Linux host. Okay. Test the new key. Use a command like the following to copy the keys. The best practice of SSH. Copy the key to a server. Test the new key. Copy SSH multiple servers with password. SSH. Input SSH. Okay, let me try this here. I'm going to try on 133 hyphen yes, and hold on. Sudo with the password in one command line. Okay, it's going to ask for the password. So I'm going to say red hat. Okay. Alright, let's see if this is going to work here. Then I will put this in a script here for all the rest of the four. Error invalid, yes. Yes. Okay, so this was much easier than the other one compared to. So 33, 127. Okay, and 107. Okay, and 131. $134. So if you do like SSH, so now the keys have been exchanged, right? So now what you should be do is you should be able to do SSH, and if you type this here, you should be able to connect without the password being asked to you. So if you do IPADDR, you are into 127. You exit back, you are into Ansible master. So let's see here. So what I'm going to do is SSH keygen. So Ansible uses built-in SSH functionality to connect and perform SSH uses built-in SSH functionality to connect and perform the task. So create SSH setup. So first, create key first. Create SSH key first. The command is SSH keygen. Okay. So far you guys are clear, right? Once you type SSH keygen, then do all this here. SSH keygen. Hit enter for what was that came up? Paraphrases, right? No need to enter the password.
Why it was not accepting the question, brother? Why it was not accepting the dash y hyphen y flag so that we don't have to type manually after looking at.
Yeah, it's not valid here. I'll look into it and find out what's the correct way to do it, okay? No need to enter a password and paraphrase. Okay, now copy SSH to all your hosts. In the real world scenario, thousands of servers, then you could probably have to write the script. Okay? You put this SSH copy and all this in the folder, and you should be able to do this.
But how will you enter the hit the enter whenever it needs if you put in the script?
Yeah, I'll figure that out. One is 13, 33, 27. You don't want me to show you all this here, right? You should be able to say yes and all that. 127, 131. And
we will do it, brother. If you see the yes, we will press it.
Yeah. Yeah. It will be troubling if you're going to call me and tell me you have to press yes or no. Okay? Don't call. Yeah.
Interesting. Before you start teaching, I was thinking that Ansible could be some sort of interface where you just type the few things, but it looks like a little complicated that I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, unless you know about it, you won't know what exactly that is. Okay, this is the setup here. Once it's all set up, then it's going to be piece of cake. A lot of things are going to be a piece of cake. Okay, so now once the keys are this is just to be passwordless. Once the keys are exchanged, to be passwordless. Okay. So what we're going to do is, now this is how the Ansible commands. Okay. So let's ping all the servers here. Okay. So for you to do that, you have to type Ansible. Ansible is the main command. Ansible, and you have to say all, and then -m is for module. I'll explain you what it is. And then ping, P-I-N-G. Okay? And I will hit enter. Still running. So far it has success. So it says it pings and it's Ansible, it does something. Don't worry about this here. Just worry about it here that it was successful, the connection was successful, and it was pinged and the response was fine. Okay, this is the way for the for Ansible to tell you that it has made the successful connection here. Well, making a successful connection doesn't mean the command has ran. Okay, so let's see if it has ran through the six servers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it connected to the 6 servers simultaneously and brought back this information here. Okay. So what this is when you say all, by default, Ansible is automatic.
Brother Zafar, can I ask a question, please?
I'm sorry?
Can I ask a question before you explain it, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, we run this command to it go to the host machine, and for example, we have thousands of servers. Some of them failed, some of them passed, so we have to go through scan everything.
It will tell you. It will tell you if you're pinging like 500 servers, it will tell you which ones have failed and which one has not failed, which one is successful.
Okay. Okay.
So what you could do is you could go in here and then you could grep for this information here. Okay. Grep for this line. Grep for something the line that has this information. Okay. So what happened here is it went there, and then if you know this information is this information, it made a connection and all that. If it would have not made the connection here, it wouldn't have returned you that. It may, then you could investigate furthermore. Okay. So we'll take a look here further. So what is Ansible doing here is it's a so let me open a new document. So we have this command here, right? So this is the Ansible. Ansible all -m ping. So what this is a command. This is a built-in command you have to see. When you say all, it's reading this file here, etc Ansible host. Whatever list of servers you have, it's reading that, and all means we are telling it to read all servers. And -m is module to be used. And what is the module we are using here? We are using the ping module. Some of these commands you will learn slowly that Ansible, what I've done is it made a ping command as a module. Module. If you type -m, that means we are using a module. And we are using ping here. Oh shoot, it won't copy in there. So this is a breakdown of the command here. But most of the time you use the module. Shell module is used a lot. So what I'm going to do is Ansible all -m then shell. What happens is when you go onto the shell, it's connecting to this server here, and then it's typing the command in there, okay? And then for you to run the command here, you type ping. I like this much better than the previous one. So I'm going to say Ansible. Okay, so what is this saying now? It's not going to do what? Ansible -m ping. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to type -a. -a. So we'll see what -a stands for in a moment here, but you always have to type -a and then ping. So what's happening is Ansible is connecting to one box, going in there and typing in the shell and typing in the command in the, let's say, this ping. Okay, so Oh, okay. Actually, the ping command won't work here because you have to say ping what? You could say ping google.com. Ping -c 1 google.com. So it's going to go into each cell and then ping it to google.com. Yeah, see, do you see? From there, it's pinging google.com. So what you could tell is that when you run this command here, it's that somebody is crying that, oh, there is no internet connection on this machine here. So what you could do is you could go, okay, here's a couple things here. A network connection is different than an internet connection. You guys agree on that? Network connection is local and internet connection is going outside the company. Right? Okay, it's giving the report that 113 has failed here because 113, it has only 113 failed because this is 113 because it doesn't have the second Ethernet adapter here, the one we normally use for going out. Okay? So it did give us a report here. Okay, let's have more fun now. Ansible -m shell, and if you want to get the uptime for each server, you have to type uptime. There you go. It went there, it grabbed the uptime information from all the 6 servers here. Okay. So by default, Ansible, what it does is, it's doing 5 simultaneously. 5 servers simultaneously. Why is it doing 5 servers simultaneously? Because in config file, in here, we have forks set to 5. So what you could do is you could set to 5,000 here.
But the thing is, whether this is commented line, it might not be using that line.
Oh, it's not using. Let's go and take a look. Okay, so you have to uncomment this. Okay? What it did was, it fork. Fork stands for fork. You know, it's the fork of your regular fork you're eating. So you have how many things you're forking simultaneously? 4 or 5 times, right? So simultaneously connection. Simultaneous connection. So I'm going to put this here. And then what you could do is you could do Control C. So note Ansible by default will make file connections at a time from Ansible by default will make file connections at a time. Okay? At a time to host. To make changes, edit vi etc Ansible host. No, not host. Ansible dot cfg and set forks to larger number. But you don't have to go in there here. What else you could do is you could set this back to 5. And then you could run this as a command. You could run this as on the command line too. -F, and then you have more than 6 here, so I'm going to just type 10. Okay, -F is making the fork connection. It's not doing.
Brother?
So you probably have to give like the correct number here, 6. Okay. So to make the fork connection,
There's a lot of delay now, brother.
what? Hello? Hello?
There's a lot of delay, brother. It's about 5-7 second delay now.
For what?
When you say something, but we see something, at least me, I don't know about anybody else.
Anybody else is having problem?
Delay.
Okay. Alright. It's a network connection, I guess, here. So we'll just work through here, okay? To make the fork connection, of all the, let me see if we could give all to. This is it. Okay. So let's take a look at some of the other commands I have here, okay? The normal ones you would be using. So what you could do is, you could go not VI. You copy the same command here, and then what else you could do is, instead of uptime, you could give host name, okay? So it's going to go in there and run the hostname command and grab that information.
Can we type the command hostname here, brother, for a second, please?
Yeah. What now? So it went there, and one of them has a host name, so it grabbed the host name here, okay? So it will be as if when you run this command, as if it's running the host command on each server.
And what is that change if it, and RC greater than 0? How do we need that one?
So it made a connection, and let's type this in Google here and see what happens. Shell module command only output. So it's connected. It's giving the same information all along, right? So if it have changed anything, it would have given you a number here that it did change. If it gives you 1, that means if you are trying to make a change, it has made that change. And if you're trying to not make a change, it would say 0. Let me see.
Brother, we are not changing anything. We just asked for the host name.
Yeah, so it didn't change anything, so that's why it's 0.
Okay.
Okay, so, let's get the IP addresses. I'm going to let it do this on course here. So let's get the IP address, okay? Let's do, I'm gonna grab for this here. So clear IP address and grab for this. And what it does is, it's actually running the command, and the output of that command is going to grab for that. So now you go in there and then grab for each IP address in there. Okay, so let's just run it without how it's going to run for the last one. So it ran the IP address and grabbed all this information here. It is the same information that you have here. Okay, so you have uptime, you have host name, And then you have IP address. Okay, what else we use a lot? DFS&H. Let's do DFS&H. Okay. So it grabs you all this information from each place. Okay. So what we're going to do is let's restart the box. You guys got the idea so far, right? So I'm going to run this command and we'll see here. You'll see here that how this is going to work. All the servers are there and it's going to start to restart. Okay. So if you have like thousands of servers and you run this command, it's going to run on all those servers here. So the restart, you could actually see the visually here that it's restarting it for you. Okay, so depending on the, okay, it actually gave us the reached message failed to connect. Okay, so unreachable message failed to connect, true, you restarted it. So, okay, don't worry too much stress on it, just see how this functionality is working for you, okay? So let's do the update here. Let's install NC on all these boxes here, okay? So let's do -reach NC and then netcat command. It will bring us the results here. RC failed RC1. Okay, don't worry about that now. I'm not sure what that exact thing is. I will figure that out. So what we should do is yum. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do yum install nc -y. That means it's gonna automatically take it for you. It will automatically put yes for you. Okay, I expect one of them. Oh, you know what? Considering the yum module rather than they're actually giving the updates here. What is happening? So obviously this is gonna take a minute here. So let it run. Okay, so my computer is slow here, so let's see, resolve dependencies, change the 0 because it's not connected to the internet. Let's change 0. I need to check into this and see what happened here. Complete change 0, dependency resolved. Okay, so it's installed. Okay, I expect the last one to fail because it's not connected to the internet. Okay, so you could see we could use the shell command to almost run any command. What Ansible has done is they have created a module for each command here. For example, yum. Yum has its own module, okay? So let's take a look here. Oh shoot, I think the Windows is going into update. Yum. So there is like a detailed information about each module here, okay? And I'm gonna go over all of them, but yum. Let's try on yum. I'm gonna see if HTTPD is installed, okay? Yum. Yum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install HTTPD. So this is the format you have to use. HTTPD state will be, I think it's install, right? Yeah. Ansible all -m yum -a named HTTP install. So what it's going to do is, so I'm going to copy this here. You may have to read the documentation how this works. So on the line, I'm putting this Ansible all -m. That means I'm going to use yum module here. These all Ansible has a predefined how things are going to be worked here. So if you use yum -a, that means it's going to help you with that. So now I put down name HTTPD. So what is the name of the package? It's HTTPD I'm installing. And then once it's installed, what I wanted to do is state what state it wanted to be in. So I said install here. So when you look at it here, name, it says a package name or the package specifier. So we know the package name is HTTPD. And the state, these are the choices here. Absent, install, latest, present, removed. So whether to install, present or installed or comma, latest. Okay, or to remove, you have to give it absent here. If I give it remove here, it will be removed. Yum removes and then the HTTPD name. So let's go ahead and install it here first.
So brother, basically we are saying that if we need to remove the HTTPD, we need to only change the state to removed.
Yeah.
Everything will be same.
True. So we're going to install it and then we're going to remove it here. So you could expand it on your knowledge here. You could go in here and see how Yum is working, okay? So then here you could play around. You could use this, then allow downgrade. You could say yes or no. Auto remove, yes or no. And then it has a remove remote configuration file of the user here. So Yum, and then specific to package name, and then whatever you could do here, it has already built in here. So for now, if you understand, you don't have to understand the entire table here. I'm just showing you what the name means. It's a package name. And then the state, you want to install latest, present, remove. Latest means I think it's going to update here. So what is the latest going to do? It will update the package. Specified package if it's not of the latest available version. Absent means it will remove it. Okay, present means it will install it for you or install. So I have used install here. I thought it's not going to give the output here, but I think there is a way also not to see the output. You don't want all this junk coming onto your screen, right? You don't want that. Okay, so obviously this one has failed because it doesn't have the internet connection here. So it looks like it did here. And so what I did here is I checked for which HTTPD, right? I checked for HTTPD here. So this one already had HTTPD on it. Rest of them didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that command here, which HTTPD, and then it should tell us all of them should have it. Okay. Obviously, this one doesn't have it because it's not connected to the internet. Okay, so we installed it here.
So what does Zafar, this is what we're doing is only for the young, so there might be tons of other modules also.
Very good. Exactly. You just have to figure it out, and then what we're doing is we call this as an ad hoc commands. Ad hoc commands. We're running it from the single line here. We could also put this in a script. It's called YAML. So we'll take a look at next week here. But let me finish this here. Take a few more minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we installed it, right? Now we're going to do is what state you want this in. So I'm going to go here and look at the module here, and I'm going to remove the state. So what I'm going to do is either I could type absent or remove. So let me just type it absent. What this will do is this will remove it. And then you have to read the individual documentation. What Ansible tries to do is it predefined everything for you, and it's telling you to use those for the administration purpose. Okay, so all you did here is just made a change here. HTTPD on of name and then state, absent, and all that. Once you read the document, you will know. Okay, so let's try uninstalling NC. We have installed NC right earlier using the other command, but let's do it uninstall it using this command here.
So now we are uninstalling, right?
Yeah. When you say absent, this means uninstall here. So you have to read the document. What is the document is telling you to do? These are extra ones here. Like the state is you would use all the time. Name is the one you would use all the time. Specify an alternate release. So these are the advanced ones here. Update cache. Of course, you have to check if the cache is out of date. Okay, and use backend. And then, of course, you put in Google and get the examples. Usually you run this command and go away, okay? You don't sit there. So all of them should be not installed. Okay, so NC has failed all of them here, okay? So you get the idea how this is working here, right? So now what I'm going to do is, we've been using this command here, all. So it's using the etc Ansible slash host file here, right?
Host file here.
So we're gonna specify the specific file. You could specify the location of a specific file tell it to use it, okay? You could do that.
So we can also specify the few number of IP addresses instead of all the files.
Yes, I'll show you that in a minute. So what you can do is specify that file, the etc Ansible host file is called inventory file. Okay? Specify a specific. Ansible reads the etc file for a list of server. Ansible by default. This is known as inventory file. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy that inventory file here to this location here. Okay. So cp etc host Ansible host, and I'm copying it here. So if I do ls, the host file is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the ping command here, right? Ansible all -m ping. So ping is a module. So it's reading from this file here, okay? Okay, so we read that file. So I'm gonna rename this host file here.
So I might have lost a little bit of concentration, but we are trying to do at this moment is not to delete from the host file, but from am I correct?
Specific file, yeah. So when you type the same command here, you type Ansible all and ping, right? Instead of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify the file here. -i means inventory file. And which file is that? Is it a list of servers? -m and then the ping. So, okay, it failed here. Actually, you have to give the full path, I think. yeah, root and all that here. So /root/list of servers. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You still have to give all in there. And Ansible all, and then you're specifying all the files inside the server, inside the server list. Okay, let's see if it's gonna work. Yeah, it's working. So you have to give this here. Ansible, you still have to do all -I. Now you have seen now that it is using the specified file here. Let's have some more fun here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make groups here. So to make a group here, I'm going to type web server and then I'm going to split this up into 3 here and then a database, DB host. It should be all one word here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type, instead of all, I type DB host. So what it's going to read is it's going to read only the DB host from that server, that is going to ping only 3. So shifting only 3 servers. There you go. It pinged only 3. 1, 2, 3. So in the inventory file, you can specify the groups. Okay, so get list of servers. So this is how you specify the groups in there. Once the group is there, then you could run the command. So how are you going to run the command here? Ansible and a group name, and you have run this command here. Okay, so it will ping only those servers here. And of course, you could run all the commands in the world using this. Let's try web servers here. Okay, so web servers, web server. You guys are clear about this, right? So you have made a groups in there, and you have 1, 2, 3.
Yes, what is pretty good.
Okay. One thing I'll show you is that copy has its own copy command here, right? So what I could do is I have this ls here. I have this file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy to all the other servers. What I could do is I could do all the ad hoc command. I could run this here, right? In here shell. Then I could copy CP. And then what I'm going to copy, the copy command, right? The name of the file, I could do that. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the copy module here. So before this yum module, so what I'm going to do is, you type Ansible all -m for module, copy -a, and then you have to give the source. Where is the source file here? Source file name is equal to root list of servers. Ansible Ansible -n means module. And then instead of thing, I'm going to use copy command and then -a. So let's go and take a look at copy module. So it's copy files to remote location. Destination. And source right here. Okay? So I'm going to copy this here. -a src equals /root/list of servers. Okay, and destination is, what is the destination you want to put this in? You have to specify.
Are we bringing files from those servers to the local machine? Or?
No. From here, you're copying over there to the destination server. See, this file is on local server here, right? From here, I'm copying it to the destination, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit here, and it should copy the list of servers to all those file temp folder. Did I type destination? Dist. Yeah, DEST. Path required. And path. And then if you want to do it from the remote, I think remote server, unsafe write, backup, checksum, content, decrypt, test, source, group, mode, Okay, we'll worry about it later. So it has, what happened here? Ansible file dictionary interpreted. So let's see if it's copied here. So I will do ls temp. Okay, so looks like it did copy here. It went in there and it has these files here. And we did ls 1, 2, 3, and list of servers is there in all the servers. Okay, so it worked. Okay, alright, good. So far everybody's with me, right? And now this is clear how this is gonna work. Ansible all -i. Specify file with the list of servers. Okay, good. Okay, that's about it. So next week, what I could do is, before that, let me write a little script here, and if you could try to run that script on the remote server here. So I'm gonna say vi script.sh. I'm gonna write a script here. Uptime. Usually you write a script to do some kind of changes in there. So I'm gonna write a script here. Uptime df-h and echo system is rebooting. Okay, let's do this. So let's copy this file here. Vi chmod 755 script.sh. Okay, let's run the bash script remotely. So shell command should work, right? How am I gonna run that? Okay, hold on. So if I do /root /script, right? That's how it's gonna work. I should have copied this to root. Let's do it on root, okay? Because root is the default folder where the shell command is going to run from. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. So now I copied to the root folder here, and let's see if the script is going to hold the permissions. Sometimes it may not hold the permission, right? Do you agree or no? If you change it, it should hold the permissions.
If you ask me whether if you copy one file with the permission, it should hold the permission.
And it looks like it didn't, or it did.
This is 75, it's not 755, it's 751, I think. But both are executable, you can run it.
Over here, it held the permissions. Yeah, it didn't hold the permissions. So to copy the file with the permission, you have to type -R, I think. Uppercase R is for directories. Yeah, because okay. Well then, preserve. Preserve means that the file will be given the same permission as the source file. So I have to type here preserve. But I don't have to say anything, right? Mode, then I have to type mode, then equal preserve. Mode equal preserve. What now? I have to remove this. That's the problem. Okay, so it did, over here, it did preserve the permission here. Okay, so this is the server we worked with. And here it preserved the script one. So it did preserve the permissions here. Okay.
These are the same permission as we did before.
No, when we copied this file here, it didn't kept the permissions. We did 755. Then we copied with the mode equal preserve, it preserved the permission. The copy command is not keeping the permission here for security reason, it's built in.
Got it.
Oh man. Okay, now we're going to run the script here, remote script, and it should restart the servers. Okay, after we restart, we're going to end the class here and then we'll catch up next week.
There's a lot of knowledge for one lecture today.
Yeah. It's easy. After that, it's not much anything. See, the script has worked. So what I was trying to demonstrate here is you could create a script and then pass that script onto all the other servers and run it here. That script we created yesterday for LVM, if the server has article this and that, I would highly recommend like set that up and copy the script and run those things here on 5 or 6 servers you have, and then run that script we created yesterday, and then it will all be done in no time. So you see how the automation helps, how Ansible will help with the automation here. So this is what I've showed you is a very good information here where you get started, and then it's a big ocean, but you know how to swim in there. Okay? You agree with that?
Yes, brother, you're right. You gave the introduction, and that depends on us, how deep we go and how much time we spend, what we learn and how we learn.
Yeah. For now, don't look into other sources yet. Whatever information I gave you, just work through that. And then once you have mastered that, then you could go on and fiddle around even more.
Definitely, I'll do it, brother. But that's pretty good information and pretty in-depth kind of tool, this Ansible. At least I have never heard about it, and I have never seen how it works. So one question that I'm having here is that you first we have to, if we need to run some script, that should be present in all the remote servers so that they can run individually from there. It is not that you're running from the Ansible to all the other remote servers.
There is a way it's called Ansible YAML. I'll show you next week. But you use combination of Ansible knowledge in combination of your scripting, bash scripting and all that. I was just showing how you could use this here. Okay, there is some scripting is built into Ansible also, but I'm showing you could use a combination of both of your knowledge to accomplish what you want to do. Okay.
Interesting. It's good information, brother. Jazakallah.
Okay, so you could see Ansible is installed only on one server. Okay, it's not installed on other servers. You don't have to have a service turned on anything on it. All it's using is SSH, and it's powerful. That is going in there and then doing the work. So if you see, you could do it in 6 servers. You could do it on 6,000 servers. Okay, don't be scared. Be confident and just practice more. Then you'll be all good. So I'm going to end today now, and then next week I'll catch up, and let's see how many more days we have. Next week I'm going to show you.
But the initial setup, the initial setup that we need is we need to send our what you call the key generation file and all the stuff that we need to run. That is not a problem.
Yeah, I mean the way I did was manually. You could try to figure it out and let me know if you could do it. There is a way here. I mean, I'm sure you could do it. Ansible will help you with it here. So if I find it this week, I'll send it to you. Then if not, then it's not a big deal here. You should be able to figure things out on your own.
Yes.
And then all you have to do is run this here. And then successfully reboot it. Okay, so I hope everybody on call has got a good information and they get started here. So I'll upload this video as soon as I end this call, okay?